Donald Trump reflected on the day following his departure from a demanding charity event while sitting calmly in his limousine. The city streets were alive with activity, but his thoughts were diverted as the sound of terrified cries broke through the cacophony of the city. Trump turned to face his driver and shouted, "Stop the car! I need to see what's happening exiting the vehicle," after observing a group of people gathered in the distance. A 10-year-old girl clutched to the young mother as she collapsed on the ground next to her wheelchair as Trump made his way through the crowd, which split in shock at his presence. Her cries, "My mom! Please someone help her!" reverberated over the gathering. With a softening face and a gentle hand on her shoulder, Trump knelt next to the girl and calmed her, saying, "Sweetheart, we'll get your mom to a hospital right away. I promise you'll be okay." With the assistance of a security team, he was profoundly affected by the fear and inspiration in her eyes. As the automobile raced toward the hospital, Trump gingerly pulled the unconscious woman into his limousine, the youngster clinging to her mother's hand and reluctant to let go. Trump continued to stare at the woman who was lying still next to him before turning to the young girl and remarking, "Your mom will be fine." When she arrived at the hospital, the girl felt a glimmer of hope and her sobs slowed as she clung to his words, "I won't let anything happen to her." Trump assisted Sarah, who was taken to the medical room. As she watched her mother being wheeled away, her daughter Lily watched helplessly, tears flowing down her cheeks. Trump once again crouched next to Lily and said, "You're a brave girl, Lily. Your mom is in good hands now, and I'll make sure she gets the care she needs." His tone was calm but firm. As the hours passed slowly and Trump remained by Lily's side in the hospital waiting area, the physicians eventually came out with solemn statements. Sarah's condition was urgent. A growing brain tumor necessitated emergency surgery, but the cost of the procedure was considerably higher than Sarah could afford. As Trump arrived at Sarah's hospital room, she spoke in a steady but feeble voice. "Mr. Trump, I'm not sure how to express my gratitude for everything you've done, but I do have one last request. Please look after my Lily. She is alone, and I'm worried about what will happen to her if I'm not around." She added, "This illness has taken everything from me. I have no job, no home, and no means to save myself," as tears filled her eyes. Trump responded firmly, "I promise to do everything I can to change the situation. You'll see Lily grow up and you'll both have a chance at the life you deserve," as he stared into Sarah's tired but determined face. The following day, Trump went back to Sarah's hospital room to hear her story in person. His speech was full of conviction and gave her optimism that she hadn't had in years. More specifics. Every week, Sarah sat in bed with a mixture of hope and worry in her eyes. Trump broke the quiet with a kind tone, saying, "I'm here to listen whenever you're ready, Sarah." Sarah took a deep breath and spoke in a trembling voice as she introduced Mr. Trump. "It all began 2 years ago when my husband, the person I trusted the most, betrayed me with my closest friend. One morning, I discovered a letter stating that he had left, and everything in my life started to fall apart. I lost my job due to health problems, and when I was told I had a brain tumor, I felt like all hope was gone. But every day and every sleepless night, I fight for one thing, my daughter Lily. I know no one else can love and protect her as I do." Sarah paused, her eyes dropping to the floor as though she were reliving the weight of her struggles. "Lily is everything to me. But what can I provide her, and how can I bear to see her grow up on the streets?" "Mr. Trump," she went on, her voice shaking, "we usually go to bed hungry, and every night when she asks me, 'Mom, why don't we have a home?' it makes me sadder. I can't even afford my medication, let alone the care I require." Trump listened carefully as tears filled his own eyes. "It's wrong that people like you and Lily have to go through so much suffering, but you're not alone anymore, Sarah. I pledge to do everything in my ability to offer you two a better life going forward." He said this quietly but firmly. There was an unexpected sense of hope in the room as his words carried conviction. For the first time, Sarah felt that someone actually cared about her as she wiped away her tears and looked at Trump. Trump was compelled to alter the lives of this woman and her kid after being profoundly touched by her tenacity. He knew that he would not only help them live, but also ensure that their story was heard and that their lives were genuinely changed. Trump started a campaign to aid Sarah and Lily, posting about Sarah on social media and asking people to provide a hand to the needy family. Donations flooded in, paying for Sarah's operation and creating a fund for Lily's schooling. "This is just the beginning," Trump told Sarah, "and I'll make sure your daughter's education and future are secure. You are no longer alone." Although her recuperation was difficult, Sarah's surgery to remove the tumor was successful. As Sarah was being released from the hospital, Lily's love and Trump's constant support gave her strength. She turned at Trump and said, "Thank you. You didn't just give me health. You gave me hope," her voice shaking with emotion. With Trump's assistance, Sarah and Lily's lives had radically changed a year later. Sarah had secured a steady job and rented a modest but comfortable house, and Lily had bloomed into a bright student with optimism for the future motivated by her experience. Sarah hugged Trump and sobbed as she said, "Without you, I wouldn't have been able to rebuild this life. You didn't just save me, you saved my daughter's future." Sarah wrote a book called Clinging to Life Again, which recounted her hardships and the kindness that saved her. The book became a source of inspiration for many. "We all need a helping hand sometimes, Sarah, and your bravery and tenacity made this narrative possible," Trump said with a loving smile. Since their story inspired us all to remember that even the smallest act of kindness can change a life, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and leave your thoughts in the comments section. Together, we can spread compassion and hope. For thousands of people, Sarah and Lily's story became a symbol of hope, demonstrating how acts of kindness and solidarity can transform lives.